Scientists finally tested Hitler's DNA. The results broke the internet. Opening the hook. An 80-year-old bloodstained, one of history's most evil men, and a secret locked in his DNA that scientists just uncovered. For 8 decades, a piece of blood-soaked fabric from Adolf Hitler's death bunker sat in an American museum. In 2024, scientists finally tested it. What they found triggered one of the biggest controversies in modern genetics. Autism organizations are calling it a cheap stunt. Geneticists are at war with each other, and multiple European labs straight up refused to participate. The truth is way more complicated than the headlines. Let me explain. The War Trophy. April 1945. Berlin is falling. Hitler retreats to his underground bunker and takes his own life. When American forces storm the bunker, Colonel Roswell P. Rosengren spots something dark on Hitler's sofa. Blood. He cuts out the fabric and pockets it as a war trophy. For 80 years, this blood-stained cloth passes through collections, eventually ending up framed in the Gettysburg Museum of History. Then someone asks, what if we could test that blood? Enter Professor Turi King, the DNA expert who identified King Richard III's bones. When approached about testing Hitler's blood, her first reaction? Absolutely not. But King realizes if she doesn't do this with proper standards, someone else will do it badly. After agonizing over it, she agrees. 4 years, multiple countries, cutting-edge sequencing. And here's the terrifying part. Several European labs refused to participate, but an American lab said yes. First, they had to verify it was really Hitler's blood. They compared the Y chromosome with DNA from Hitler's living male relative collected years earlier. Perfect match. This is Hitler's DNA. The explosive findings. Discovery number 1, Jewish ancestry. Since the 1920s, rumors claimed Hitler had Jewish ancestry. The DNA settles it. No, 0 Jewish ancestry. That rumor is dead. Discovery number 2, Kallmann syndrome. The DNA shows Hitler had Kallmann syndrome, a disorder affecting sexual development that can cause underdeveloped genitals and dramatically reduced sex drive. Why do historians care? For decades, scholars puzzled over Hitler's complete devotion to politics with virtually 0 personal life. Dr. Alex Kay calls this a breakthrough. It tells us he didn't have a private life. What if Hitler was biologically driven toward isolation and power rather than human connection? That's genuinely fascinating. But it's where things get really controversial. Discovery number 3. The bombshell Hitler scored in the top 1% for genetic predisposition to autism, ADHD, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder. The internet went insane. But here's what everyone missed. Having a genetic predisposition is not a diagnosis. A high genetic risk does not mean you have the condition. It's like genes for heart disease. Lots of people have them. Most never have heart attacks. Genetics is only one factor. Environment, experiences, culture matter more. Millions of people alive right now probably have similar genetic profiles. Are they all monsters? Obviously not. Most are wonderful people. Why the science is broken. They used polygenic scoring, comparing genetic patterns with massive databases to calculate statistical risk. For heart disease or cancer, pretty useful. For complex behavioral conditions, shaky. Professor Denise Sindercombe-Court, who tested this same blood in 2018, says they've gone too far, and predicting behavior from genetics is pretty useless. Why? Incomplete penetrance. Dr. Sundhya Raman explains, just because you have something in your DNA doesn't mean you'll express it. Most people don't understand this. When they see Hitler had autism genes, they just connect autism with history's worst monster. Professor Simon Baron-Cohen from Cambridge warns, there's a risk of stigma. People might think their diagnosis is linked to monstrous things. The UK's National Autistic Society responded hard. Shoddy science, callous disregard for autistic people's feelings. Autistic people deserve better. Here's what people will take away. Hitler had autism genes equals autism is dangerous. Complete nonsense. But the stigma lives forever. The ethical nightmare. Should dead people have genetic privacy? Should Hitler? On one hand, he's been dead 80 years. No living descendants responsible for the Holocaust. Hundreds of historical figures have had DNA analyzed. Professor King, who makes that decision? But here's the uncomfortable part. What if this sets a precedent? What if in 50 years, scientists analyze controversial figures without oversight because we did it with Hitler? Where's the line? Multiple European labs refused this research. They saw the red flags, but an American lab said yes. What does that tell you about different views on genetic ethics? Is there a reason European scientists living closer to Nazi history were more hesitant? The real danger. The Kallmann syndrome finding, historically useful. Debunking the Jewish ancestry rumor, good to have clarity, but the real danger is what people do with this information. Right now, someone's thinking, see, there is something wrong with autistic people. Someone else is arguing, we can identify these markers and prevent future Hitlers, which is exactly the thinking that led to Nazi ideology. The irony is almost too perfect. We can't unring this bell. This research exists forever. The documentary includes caveats. Scientists emphasize genetics don't determine behavior, but how many people remember those caveats? How many headlines included them? Headlines don't say Hitler had genetic predisposition found in millions of normal people. They say Hitler had autism. 4 words, maximum damage. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Hitler wasn't a genetic aberration. He was a human being who made choices shaped by his environment and historical context. Reducing him to genetics makes him seem like an anomaly, like we can just screen for Hitler genes. But that's the opposite of what history teaches us. The Holocaust didn't happen because of Hitler's DNA. It happened because of propaganda, economic desperation, political manipulation, and the failure of ordinary people to stand up against evil. That's the terrifying lesson, not genetic scores. final verdict. Should this research have been done? After researching this extensively, here's my honest take. I genuinely don't know. Professor King is right. Someone was going to do this eventually. At least she did it with rigor and caveats. But was it worth it? Worth stigmatizing millions of autistic people? Worth giving ammunition for genetic determinism and eugenics? Worth the risk of being misused? The research exists now. We can't undo it. So what matters is how we respond. This research will be misused. It's already in clickbait headlines. It'll support dangerous ideologies. But maybe it'll spark important conversations about genetic ethics. Maybe it'll make future researchers more careful. Every person discussing this, including me, has a responsibility. Be accurate, protect vulnerable communities, push back against genetic determinism. Remember, Hitler's atrocities were caused by choices and ideology, not DNA. Closing. If you take nothing else, remember: 1. Genetic predisposition is not destiny. Millions have similar profiles and are wonderful people. DNA doesn't determine behavior. 2. Real lessons aren't in genes. They're in understanding how societies descend into evil and how to prevent it. 3. Just because we can test DNA doesn't mean we should. Right now, we have a choice: stigmatize vulnerable people or have important conversations about ethics, science, and history. That choice isn't in our DNA. It's up to us. What's your take? Should this research have been done? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's have this conversation. Now, before you go, if this video made you think, absolutely destroy that like button. And if you want more deep dives into controversial science, hidden history, and stories that challenge everything you thought you knew, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're dropping videos like this every week. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Share this with someone who only read the clickbait headlines. They need the full story. I read every comment. The best debates happen down there. Thanks for watching. Remember, we're all responsible for how we use knowledge. Choose wisely. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Note to viewers: if you or someone you know is autistic or has any conditions mentioned here, these have nothing to do with being evil or dangerous. These are part of human neurodiversity, and people with them deserve respect, support, and dignity. Sources: Channel 4, documentary. Hitler's DNA, Blueprint of a Dictator. BBC investigation. UK National Autistic Society. Research under peer review.